lace up her shoes at sunrise. Camera in her hand, hope in her eyes. Dust on the trail, sky open wide. Talking about grace with every stride. Welcome to Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, God's love walking with you. She's breathing out fear on the hillside, turning every hurt into a highlight. Little roadside cross, she nods her head, says, you ain't alone in the words he said. Welcome to Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, God's love walking with you. She says, lift your eyes, even when the path gets steep. Every valley, every question, he's still leading with your feet. So you walk, so you breathe, you believe. Welcome to Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, God's love walking with you.
Good morning. How is everybody? It's kind of a rainy day, and my mood kind of follows that a little bit. Sometimes I think we need a day like that every now and again. So, this, I have to say, I think I come on here every Thursday and say, I'm not sure I really liked the readings this week because it was a little sciencey for me. I mean, I can always walk away with some good thoughts, but I have to say these chapters have been the best yet because I am such a proponent of exercise, of movement. Um, so it's definitely one of my more favorites to talk about. So let me just say I saw Debbie Sue here. Hi, honey. How are you? And of course, I saw Scott. Scott has a new language this morning. It sounds like he's his phonics days where he's typing what he hears. So I'm glad you're here, Scott. I hope you're feeling better. And Jen, it's pretty sad, Jen, if this song is stuck in your head all day. We'll have to find a new song for you. Glad you're here, hon. And Miss M, I saw Miss M here somewhere. How are you, hon? I hope you're doing good today. Love, you've been in so many of the live streams that I've been going to, and I'm sure many more that I'm not even in, but it's just nice to see you out there and um, I don't know, just immersing yourself in the different communities and stuff. Because especially when it's a real uplifting community, which most of the time this community is, it's just I feel you pick up on that energy, right? Isn't that what James Clear says in Atomic Habits? The number he was asked once on a podcast, what do you feel the number one most beneficial habit is? And he said, it's the people, the five people you hang around with the most. So, and I think going to different live streams and hanging out in the community, I think he would say is one of those five. So, anyways, let me see. Missing some of the regulars, so they must not like this exercise talk this week. Oh, I won't take it personal. Um, anyways, so I think Peter Attia had said, or at least what I had walked away with, is that the most powerful longevity drug is exercise. And I actually made some of my own notes because I feel not only, well, I guess it counts for longevity, is I have always I have always exercised in some fashion simply because even as a kid, we lived out on a place called Plum Island, and if we were probably 3, 4 miles from like to get out to the normal, I don't want to say mainland, but just to the normal town, if you would. And so I either had to ride my bike or I had to walk. My parents did not drive me anywhere. Most of the time they were working anyways, but so I've just always been accustomed to walking. I've been accustomed to riding my bike. And, even when I went off to college, I didn't have a car the first couple of years. So I walked every day, almost 3 miles. It's that old story, right? You walked both directions, 5 miles uphill, but it was only one direction uphill and then the other one was downhill. But almost 3 miles every day to get to class um, at UMass Lowell. So I've always moved my body because it was a necessity. And it wasn't probably until my 20s when I could afford a gym membership, probably my mid to late 20s, that I started having like formalized um, exercise. And then I don't even remember the first time I ran. Yeah, I do. I was invited to participate in the Lucent, which is the company, wasn't my first job, but it was the big first corporate America job, um, their running club. And so we would run every day at lunch. Um, so that's sort of when I got into really running. Um, Running to get someplace quickly, I wouldn't constitute as running. But, anyways, so, and then there was a time, probably after my last child, Ashley, when I tried to pick up running again. At that point, I was in my late 30s, and it just, yeah, I really struggled with it. Really, really struggled with it. I couldn't get back into it. So I didn't. I didn't until, so that was say probably 39 to about 53. I got to think about this. 50, 54, 54. And then at the age of 54, I picked up running again. And I'll say from June 9th, 2020, I have not missed a week of running. And I run usually on average 4 or 5 days a week. There have been some weeks I run every day, but I never go less than 4 days a week. Um, Unless there's like a bad storm all week type of thing and I just couldn't get out and run, then I would actually make it up the following week. But basically, I have not missed a week in what, 6 years. Um, and the reason, first of all, because we all know what 2020 was, and if I was told that I was supposed to stay in the house and not go outside, then Lori's going to do the opposite of that. So that's the first thing. Um, but the other thing is, I think most of you know that in 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and, got finished up all my treatments and stuff in January of 2020. And I had done a lot of research at that point because I made the decision that I was going a more holistic type of solution, that I was not going to go the path that my oncologist suggested. And one of the things that contributed to that holistic solution was exercise and how powerful exercise is, um, to the prevention of cancer, to the prevention of it coming back. And I mean, I think for breast cancer patients, it was as high as 45% recurrence just from, or non-recurrence, just from exercise alone. I mean, obviously, there's other things I incorporate, but exercise was pretty powerful. Um, so, in addition to what Peter Attia had said, that it being one of the most powerful longevity drugs, I would say it's actually probably the most powerful drug out there, period, because not only does it help with the prevention of cancer or the reoccurrence of cancer, it's amazing for the heart. There's so much research out there for the cognitive benefits, um, the benefits to your bones. Just actually, I wrote a whole list. I think there was like 10 things I came up with. It helps with sleep, which we all know sleep is so important for the restorative um, properties of, restoring your body and healing it and stuff. But so I wrote, yeah, the bones, the muscles. Well, of course, I can't find it now. Anyways, I came up with like 10 or 11 things I thought, but I'm sure we all know what they are. Um, I'll find it in my notes, and when I do, I'll share it. So let me just go back into the chat for a minute so I do not get too far behind. Uh, Miss M is dancing. See, dancing is exercise. There you go. And that's, okay, let me finish the comments and then I will talk about that. Um, nice dress, Em. So fancy with my multiple handle. No, no, no. Scott, your face would be in your hand if you could see all my scenes right now. They are so messed up, my scenes, with Ecamm. And I actually have a couple, two, three coaching sessions left with Rob. Um, just ones that have been part of a program that I was part of. And I'm actually thinking of using one of those coaching sessions to have him come in and help me clean up all my scenes, and just learn a couple other things about Ecamm. Um, he did do a live stream training. I think he has talked about that. And I did take that as well. And he does talk about Ecamm, but he doesn't get into some of the details that I think I need to know. But anyway, so no, not too impressive, Scott. Or maybe I shouldn't tell you that. But anyways, stop making me laugh, Scott. I'm at the gym pretending to do a very serious workout. There you go, Jen. That's awesome. Nothing better than working out while you're listening to a live stream about working out. Wait till you think you lost your phone because it's being used as a camera and you can't find it. Oh no, that that has happened. That has already happened, Scott. What was it, Sunday night maybe? I don't know. It was one of my live streams and I had set it up in the backyard, but then I couldn't get it working for whatever reason. And then I forgot all about it. And then we were heading out and I was trying to find my phone. I couldn't find my phone anywhere. And so, because I've been in the habit of not carrying my phone with me. So didn't really miss it until I had to leave. So, but no, I've done that too, Scott. Work it, Jen, work it. I enjoy going to different live streams. Yeah, aren't they fun? Especially when you find someone new. I found someone new this morning and um, I'm not even sure how I found him because he was a relatively new subscriber to my channel. And I mean, obviously, don't know everybody who subscribes because some of them are private, but I do try and visit other people's channels. And I definitely don't subscribe to them all. I can't keep up with the subscribers I do have or the channels I am subscribed to. But I liked this guy's channel. I really, really did. So I did subscribe. He he was me. He was only a male version of me. So and I thought that was kind of neat. He probably won't appreciate that I called him a male version of me, but he was. So I enjoyed it. Um, I am always feeling better after workout. I get a workout high if that's a thing. No, it is a thing. It is the most powerful high. Um, well, I was going to say more than any drug out there, but not that I would really know because I don't know. But that's what I hear, anyways. That exercise. you just feel so good after exercise. You just feel so good. And that's one of the reasons, back in 2020, I even started again because man, it was a rough situation. Again, I know my family in Florida didn't necessarily have to go through everything we went through, but everything was shut down. And if, you had certain hours you could go into a store, and even then you still had to wait in line because only, 100 people could be in like this huge grocery store. It was just insane, insane. Um, so, anyways, but one of the good things I remember about that time frame was there was never any traffic on the road. And I was one that would just literally go out and drive. I'd go to the beach. I'd go anywhere outside that I could go. I found a lot of trails that I didn't even know existed, and they weren't really too far from me. From that perspective, I definitely enjoyed it, because we have a real bad traffic. I'm sure everybody has a traffic problem, but we have a pretty bad traffic problem up here. Because no, at least in this state, well, I'm in the lake right now, but in the state of Massachusetts, nobody works. Um, so everybody's out on the road every day. And, anyways, I am getting off topic. Hey, Tyler, how are you, hon? I'm here just in my thoughts about the phone situation. Yeah, when you said that last night in Scott's, my heart sank with you. It really has. But you know what? There isn't one thing you can do about it now. So now you just got to let it go. Because if you don't, it'll just eat at you. And if you let it stress you out enough, you'll be sick by next week. And you just got to let it go. And you're probably going to yell at the screen when I say this, but it's just money. And one thing about money is there's more than enough money out there for folks. You just have to be open to receive it. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. It's true. Once I figured that out, once I just let go and was open to however money wanted to show up in my life, it has always showed up in droves. Um, I'm not monetized in YouTube. Wish I was, but God is the manager of my bank account, and He made sure that money was flowing in different ways. And so let it go, Tyler, is all I can say. Let it go. And we can talk about the money thing. Hey, Daryl, how are you, hon? Um, Good job on your 3-hour interview yesterday. And I don't, Sally didn't tell me if it was a panel interview or not, because I know those can take a while when you're meeting with multiple folks. And yes, I know now I don't think you're scheduled for another 2 weeks or something. And especially with the bigger companies, at least my experience with Andy last year, it just took that long. It just took that long. It's crazy. It's crazy. And he has been on the other side of it where he's done a lot of hiring for the company he was with. And it takes that long. It just takes that long to get people coordinated, to bring people in. Because you got to remember, this isn't their full-time job as far as interviewing. They all have other jobs. So, um, so just, I wish I had something that could take away the stress of probably what you're going through, but good job in the 3-hour interview. And I would walk 500 miles to get your phone back. To get your phone back, is that what you're saying? Um, Hi, Tyler and M. Let me see. Hello. Hey, Daniel. Hey, I hope you're feeling better, hon. I went to hop on your live stream last night and noticed you weren't there. So then I went over to your post and noticed that you had canceled it. So I never think of checking the post until about 5 minutes in or so. And then I'm like, wait a minute, is it canceled or are they just running late? So I hope you're feeling better. I found these chapters very empowering. There are a lot of actionable steps we can take. He emphasized that anything is better than nothing. Yes, I'm telling you, Jen, it was one of the, you've heard me come on here every week. I won't say disappointed, just not what I was not very empowering. That's a very good word. So I enjoyed it very much. Hello, everybody new coming in. Hello, hello. Let me see. Hey, Kathy, how are you, hon? I'm glad you could make it. I'm glad you could make it. Um, But you're only 29. The timeline does not make sense. Yeah, I'm only 29. Uh, yeah. No, I don't, I'm going to be 60 and I don't mind being 60. Um, because I'm going to live to 100. I'm going to drive till I'm 99. Hmm. So I, I always think, do you want to be younger? I mean, sometimes I wish like my eyesight was where it used to be. Uh, there are certain things. I definitely can't get up at 4 in the morning anymore and go for a run like I used to. I have to give my body time to get to moving again. But you know what? I would never go back. I just would never go back. I'm just happy where I am. So, and if I went back, would I end up here in the same place? I don't know. So, and I don't want to find out. Uh, I accidentally deleted my comment. It said hi to all you fabulous people. How'd you delete your comment? Now back to working out. Imagine imaging getting cleared on cancer, and then 2 months later they say, "Oh, now there's a pandemic. Everybody stay inside." That would bite. Yeah, yeah. Did you guys have that down in Florida though? Did you have to stay inside? And I will say, as berserk as Massachusetts is, we weren't like some of the other states out there. I think Minnesota was one, California was one, that they would literally have, I don't know if it was the National Guard or what, but like patrolling the streets. It was crazy. So at least we weren't that bad, but they didn't make sure. They just told us on a daily basis not to go out. And of course, 6 years later, actually, it wasn't even 6 years, it was probably 2 years later, you found out that the sunshine, being outdoors was one of the best things that could have helped people. So go figure. I bet you call this a weenie. I'll take ketchup on my hot dog. Well, I know. Hot dogs are pretty good though. Sleep? What? Oh, sleep. What's sleep? You get, you're probably okay now, Em, because you're young, but you gotta figure it out, hon. You gotta figure it out because your body needs time to rest, and especially important the older you get. So, um, I love mayo and ketchup on my hot dog. Don't knock it till you try it. Well, I love mayo. I love mayo on my burger. I have never tried it on a hot dog, um, but I don't knock it. I love mayo. So, hmm, you, Daniel. Hey, Pops, how are you, hon? I'm glad you're here. Uh, seriously, y'all, it's good. I'll try it. I don't eat hot dogs often, but I'll try it. I certainly will. Hey, Pam. Good morning. I'm glad you're here, hon. Um, hey, Paul. How are you? I've met you. I don't remember where I've met you, but I have met you before. I'm glad you're here. This might be your first live stream, or at least the first one that you've come down from the bleachers and said hello. All right, Sally, you shouldn't have come on here, first of all. You shouldn't have had your live stream this morning. I did not go looking for your live stream because I'm like, oh, Sally's not having a live stream today. So I was doing things, and then went to watch another video, and guess who pops up in my feed? Hmm, hmm. You were not supposed to be on this morning. All right, that's the only chastising you'll get from me. Holding you in my prayers, yes. And you need to do more live streams. Yeah, she was pretty good, Daniel, wasn't she? I agree with you. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins. Yep. Paul, how wonderful to see you. How is your fiance doing? So I must have met Paul from your channel then, Sally, because I have met him. We're both doing good. I know, Jen. I am so excited. See, and I thought a lot of people didn't want to hear about exercise. And look at all the people coming to hear about exercise. Hey, Allie, how are you, sweetie? How's that? How's Clover doing? How's her diet doing? There's some crazy snacks she likes. I'm just skipping hellos so I don't get too far behind. I haven't seen you on Mary's channel. I guess the time difference takes away from being able to interact. Um, yes, she is. Jen is definitely one of them. I don't think Jen realizes what a calming presence she is. Because I think, she talks about being in her own head a lot. So I think she needs to step out of her head and be a more be more of a witness to her life for a little bit because she touches a lot of us and I don't think she realizes that. So yes, very good comment, Allie. It wasn't a panel, it was three separate interviews with two different people. Okay, okay. Um, that sounds intense. But obviously they liked you, Daryl. They wouldn't have kept you there 3 hours. They would have figured out how to end it. They wouldn't have had you back, and they certainly wouldn't, um, you know, having you back in a couple more weeks. Sally, rooting for you to feel better. Seems like a lot of us have been under the weather. Are you also sick, Allie? I know Scott was sick. Who else? Who else was sick? Sally, Scott, somebody up here at home was sick, and I can't remember who it was, but I was in the water yesterday trying to get it. However, didn't think about putting my action camera in the water to try and see it. I'm going back to get a magnet to get it. Okay, so if you get it, do you think you're going to be able to recover anything on it, um, Tyler? And that's a genuine question because I don't know. They may be so good now that if you give it time to dry out, you might be able to, or if you bring it someplace, you might be able to recover everything off of it. I know that would probably, if you don't back it up, obviously you lose pictures and videos and contacts. And so hopefully you at least back it up. The first few chapters are hard to get through, but I agree, I'm learning a lot and hopefully I can apply some of these things to my everyday life. I'm going to stop here. Yes, yes. And that, I don't know when you joined, Ali, but that's exactly what I said. I said I usually open these live streams with, okay, it was a little sciencey for me, but this one I really enjoyed. And he had said that exercise is like the number one longevity drug, and I just took it a little bit further and said it certainly does more for you than just extending your life. But when you think about all the different facets to extending your life, um, I guess longevity kind of is all inclusive, if you would. Um, let me see. And one of the things, um, I think it was was showing her little dancing emoji. And that was one of the things he said is it doesn't have to be a formal exercise program. Basically, you just need to move your body, move your body. So it could be out gardening. It could be taking a walk. It could be something a bit more formal. It could be taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Um, but doing it consistently, doing it as many days as you can, and extending it. Oh, see, Scott, I was just about to say, where's my phone? Because I was going to show you guys something on my phone, but it's way over there. And one of the ways to see how well you're doing, and Jen, you probably know more about this than me, is your VO2 max number. And I never realized, but I have a really, really high VO2 number. Um, I just thought it was normal, but that is one way. So if anybody has whether it's a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or some type of, I think Hume also has it. There's a few, um, I guess, fitness type of bands that you can wear where you can monitor some of this stuff. But, bike riding, what else? What were some of the other ones that he had said? Um, but it definitely, I think he had said you live 14 to 20% longer just by exercising. And maybe 14 to 20% doesn't sound like a whole lot until you're in your 70s, 80s, and so on. And it is. So every day, just every day, get out there and do. do something, the daily walk, take the stairs. Um, you know, you what else? What else? What else? There's obviously weights, yoga. My daughter got certified in yoga back in 2020, I think it was, and she has said over and over that she believes that you can cure most of what ails you by doing yoga, um, mentally, physically, emotionally, um, so many things. So I did yoga that whatever that summer that everything was shut down because we were able to do it virtually. We just called into a studio and we did it online. But I should probably go back to doing it because it was very, very good. It also helps with when you exercise, it helps getting the air in your lungs, right? And I think most of us don't breathe as deep as we should. And the more the deeper you breathe, the more oxygenated your cells get, which is really important. Um, and I think, and I've said this, and I think this is the whole reason I wanted to do this Outlive book club was because I don't believe any of us are victims. I think we have more control over what happens to our bodies and to ourselves than we give ourselves credit for. Now, I'm not saying that things won't happen, they will. Um, and some of it happens that is out of our control because of the way this world is. But um, it's just one of the reasons I want to do this because we do, between the foods we eat and just the exercise that alone, and I said in the beginning that exercise wards off so many different diseases, whether it helps prevent. Oh my goodness, um, I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh well, it'll come back. Oh my goodness, I literally just lost the word that I wanted to say. So I will come back to that. But one of the things I looked, so there was a research study done with 1.4 million people, and exercise alone reduced the risk of 13 different cancers. And for 7 of those cancers, it dropped by more than 20%. So, and even housework, running errands, those are 2 other different, what he calls exercises. Um, and again, I think I opened up with the breast cancer survivors by adding activity, exercise into your ritual, your daily life. It lowers your risk by 45%. That's huge. That's huge. And then I list out a bunch of cancers, but um, and if anybody's interested, I also list the research where I got this information. Diabetes, that was another one. It's reversible with movement. There was a research study done on that. Totally reversible with lifestyle changes, which included the exercise, and it was more effective than medication. Um, it said your muscles take in over 80% of the glucose your body removes from blood. More muscle equals more glucose removed from the blood, which equals better blood sugar control. And in one study, after just 3 months of strength training, 34% of pre-diabetic people completely reversed the condition. And that was in the UCLA Health American Journal of Physiology. And then sleep, right? Better sleep comes from movement, which I just mentioned. Regular exercise improves sleep quality and duration. Better sleep equals better memory, better mood, and better immune function. Better immune function. And during deep sleep, your brain literally cleans itself out, right? Poor sleep is linked to higher risk of dementia, heart disease, and diabetes. So it's no joke. I think I'll only talk for myself when we were younger, right? Especially in college, you would stay up all night, you would study. And I'm not saying, one night here or there is going to write a bad ticket for you, but you just kind of wore it like a badge of honor, and it's not a badge of honor at all. Um, you really need to get your rest, and there's so many different things you can do to help you sleep. And if there's reasons you're not sleeping, whether it's sleep apnea, which I don't know anything about, so I'm not going to start talking about it. But if there are things that are preventing you from sleeping, then you need to get that figured out. But if it's because of stress or because your brain won't shut down or something like that, exercise is one of those things that will help you shut your brain down. Um, Inflammation, that was the word I was looking for. Now I forget why I wanted to say it, but exercise helps with the inflammation, which it helps with the inflammation of the brain. And one of the other studies that I was reading talked about how just from some exercise alone, your brain will actually, I want to say it was like 700 to 1200 neurons. And I don't remember if it was a day or what. Let me find that number because I think somebody had said last time that your brain doesn't rejuvenate, but the neurons in your brain do rejuvenate. 700 to 1500 new brain cells in your hippocampus can grow each day from exercise. Exercise is 1.5 times more effective than antidepressants for depression and anxiety. We talked about the cancer, and research has shown that chronic inflammation, which I just talked about, is the root of heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and autoimmune conditions. Regular exercise reduces inflammation throughout the body. It reduces oxidative stress, which damages your cells. Even just 20 minutes of exercise has anti-inflammatory effects, and that was from the Harvard Health Cleveland Clinical Research. So there's a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot. I don't think anybody would dispute that. So I guess the question is, if you're not doing something every day, if you're not being active every day, what are some of the things that you can do um, to start incorporating it into your life? Maybe it's just walking down to your mailbox. Maybe it's going around the block. Um, Again, when you go someplace, take the stairs versus taking an elevator. Um, Dancing around your kitchen. I've heard people say that. So dance around your kitchen, whatever it is. Take your dog for a walk. Let me go back to the chat. I think I left off with Allie. Drive until you're 99, 99, maybe 98. Hi, Otis. How are you, hon? Good to see you. I really enjoyed your live stream yesterday, though you cut out at one point. Um, so I lost you, so I had to go back in. And when I went back in, it made me like start all over at the beginning, and I kept trying to go out to get back in and I couldn't. But so I have to finish the end there. And it was just when Ron was starting to talk about, he had said, listen up, folks, I'm giving you some good information here. And you literally cut out. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. So I still have to go back and listen to his good information. But it was a really good live stream yesterday. So thank you. But I don't know why it just wouldn't let me go back to where I had dropped. Like, I tried to even back out of YouTube altogether, and then I went back in, and it still brought me to the beginning of your live stream. Um, so I don't know. I bought a grip strength gadget after reading this book the first time. It has improved since. Yes, funny you say that, Jen, because when my husband read this book I don't remember, a couple of years ago, whenever it was, maybe longer, he had talked about grip strength, and Atia talks about your grip strength is directly related to your longevity and stuff. And so that Christmas, I bought everybody, my daughter, her boyfriend, my son, and my husband, one of those grip strength things from Amazon. And that's all they were doing. All the rest of the night was that. So, but yes, it does improve. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you got yourself one. I worked at a gas station. There was a woman who came in every day who was very elderly. I asked her how old she was. She said she was 101 and she was driving. See, that's what I want, Allie. That's what I want. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to go to my grandchildren's, not only their weddings, but I want to see the birth of my great grandchildren, and that's totally possible. Let me do the math. But I do. I have a grandson who's 26, so I mean, it's definitely possible because when he gets married and has a child, then I'll be a great grandmother. So definitely possible. Mhm. She said the secret to a long life is one egg every morning for your brain function. Ask her what she used to do for a living. She said she was a scientist. I believe that too, because from some of the stuff that my husband has researched, he said eggs are another one of those superfoods. He says that sweet potatoes are a superfood, eggs are a superfood. And he literally has 4 eggs a day. No joke. I don't know how he does it because I would get so bored eating that many eggs every day, but he does 4 eggs a day. Um, and he swears by it. He absolutely swears by it. How is mom enjoying her vacation? Oh, I didn't know mom was on vacation. She is enjoying it greatly. I've been spoiling her rotten. Is she there with you, Ellie? Hey, Chris. How are you, hon? I'm glad you could pop in. It's good to see you. Mom says it would be better if you were here, Sally. Oh, so she's there with you. Okay. Sally, get yourself better and go for a visit. Change your surroundings. We are supposed to be getting 100-kilometer winds here again today. Really hoping the roof holds together this time. What happened last time, Pam? Was this recent that you had some roof damage? Sorry to hear that. I know I came into you never know what you're going to find up at the lake here. There's branches, which it's been raining since I've been here, so I haven't been outside, but there's branches down on the ground and everything's flashing when I came in, which means we lost power, which is one of the things I really got to learn to check because we don't have a whole house generator up here yet. It's on the schedule to get done. But with Andy being out of work last year, we didn't do it like we were supposed to. I'd be really bummed if I come up here and I don't have electricity. So I mean we do have like a small generator, but not a whole house generator. I guess I'd have to turn around and go back home. But Suzuki says hi. Pam, he's never gonna let you live that down. He's never gonna let you live that down. I like that story, Allie. Aim to still be living a good life at that age. See, Jen? I'm with you. I'm with you there. Mustard is for hot dogs. Oh, my parents don't want me to live stream anymore because they want to keep me safe. Oh, I am so far behind. Okay, I'm just going to skip over hellos, folks. Oh, but I got to say hello to Peter. Hey, Peter, how are you, hon? I'm glad you could pop in. Oh, Peter and Jen joined my Discord. The rest of you jokers need to get in there. I went on a, I don't know if it was a video. Oh, yeah, it was somebody else's live stream last night. And they literally, God is my witness, Scott, they were complaining about Discord. I'm like, what? It's that reticular activating system, right? You hear something and then you're going to hear it everywhere. But I'm like, oh, this is a riot. And I was busy exercising my feet, doing chores and shopping. But yes, doing chores and shopping are exercise, Peter. So don't, yeah, definitely. Exactly. Hope the roof stays on. Good husband points for you, Peter. Were you at Tesco or I don't know what that is? Are those grocery stores by any chance? I took her to the veterinarian and she got a blood work panel. I am so far behind and I'm waiting to hear the results. Very nervous. Oh, she's young, honey, and hopefully she's healthy. Hopefully it was just a bug, something just going through her system. Um, yeah, just make sure you get a copy of the blood work results, and then do what you need to do to interpret them. That was one of the problems with Levi. Um, so they never told us certain things. I was at Sainsbury's, walked past the wine rack and got confused, started looking for treadmills. It's the power of suggestion, Peter. Yes, I got Life 360 and it's still on. I got iCloud on my new phone. It's at the pier where me and Brooks saw the bass. Yeah, they might be using it. Those bass might be using it. Hey, Jason, how are you? Good to see you, hon. Good to see you. You know the price of admission, though. You know what the price of admission is. Tyler, you mean the phone is still on underwater? Not anymore, Scott. Not anymore. She's 5 minutes away. All right. Okay, there you go. I have one foot in the grave and one out of banana peel. All right. So you do know the price of admission. Dive in and get it. It has 79. How do you see that? How do you see that? If somebody rings the phone, don't expect SpongeBob to answer. Oh, that's good too. Mm, he said he caught it. Well, he said he caught some of the aftermath of it, Jen. So hopefully he'll put that up as a short or something or as a video. Nope, you're well. Everybody else has been sick. Yeah. Maybe it was Daniel. I'm thinking, no, it was somebody up here. Yes, everybody's been sick. Crazy. Hey, Carol. I'm glad you could pop in, hon. I tried yesterday, but where it's at is the D. I got into the magnet. Try and get it. Might do it live tomorrow. That might be a good video. I'm a little obsessed with checking my VO2 max on my Apple Watch. It's not good, but better than it was. Okay. Yeah. Again, my husband. He's the one who told me to start checking it. So the first time I checked it, and when I told him what it was, he's like, "No way." And I showed him. He's like, so then he was mad because his is definitely not as high. So that was fine. And then I watched a podcast and somebody was bragging about their VO2 max and it was about 13 points lower than mine. And I'm like, wait a minute. So then I had to go and Google it to find out what the normal range was. And that's the only reason I know mine is off the charts, but it's probably just from all the running for the last 6 years. And I don't fully understand it, Jen. So you might have to explain that maybe on your next live stream. Like I don't really know what it means. Something about the way the oxygen gets through your body or through your cells or something like that. Um, so since you're obsessed with it, you may know exactly what it means. So maybe you can talk about that on your live stream. I'm so old, I knew the Dead Sea when it was always. Okay, that was good. An epic video. I'm not sure that my presence makes a difference to anyone, but your conversations with each other make a difference to me. I look forward to hearing your opinions. Kathy, you of course make a difference here. Each one of us makes a difference here. We're, we're just like one of those threads through the tapestry, right? Each one of us. All right. When I get to 130, I'll have been alive during three different centuries, but at that point, I'll only barely be getting started. There you go. Does anybody know what the oldest recorded or the like person? I think it was in 120, 122, maybe 123. Mm, exactly. That was good, Peter, right? That was good. A walk in the fresh air feels great on your body. Yes. Being out in the sun, getting the fresh air, um, hugging a tree. Some people like to hug trees, and that's actually very powerful. All right. Hello, hello. I got a video of me soaking wet trying to get it, Peter. Had to cut the fishing trip short. Yeah, but that's going to be such a good memory. Maybe not now, but it will be. And Peter was asking if it was insured. It wasn't. So he's paying for a brain. Yeah, I never pay for the insurance either. So I just don't. There's my guy. I was just I don't know when you joined. I want to say your name is Dave, but don't hold me to that. And but I was talking about how I met somebody new today because I try when somebody subscribes, I try to go check their channel out, see if it's something I would be interested in. So I went and checked your channel out, and I had to say I loved it. And I subscribed, and I said the best way I could describe it is he was the male version of me. And I said he probably would not appreciate if I said that, but I really liked your content. I haven't dived into it too much. I've only seen two of your videos so far, but I really liked it. I really, really liked it. So I think his name is Dave, but don't hold me to that. Um, but welcome. I love having you here, hon. Welcome. If you're paying, I thought they usually come insured for so long. If you're paying, I thought they usually, I don't think so. At least not with Verizon Wireless, though I always buy my phones outright. So, but either way, I don't think so. But who do you have? Oh, you don't, who do you have? You don't have an iPhone, right? Or do you? Or did you? Um, Let me think through this. I think you should check with, depends where you bought it from. If you bought it through Apple, if you bought it through, or through your carrier. You may have options, Tyler, but you already bought the other one. So my hook caught the tripod, it fell. So instead of the phone falling on the pier like the tripod, it fell in the water. Oh, dang, your heart must have just like in slow motion. Yeah, I think the biggest thing would be if to pull anything off of it. But you said you had everything backed up, so but not for loss. Oh, thank you, Pops. I am almost at the end. We learn any lesson from this. Did you learn a lesson, Tyler? Do not put the tripod near the water or get a better tripod so it doesn't let go of your phone. Yes, I make sure the tripod is in the middle of us and not near the water. There you go. Um, the most interesting thing I learned is how fat can infiltrate your organs, causing cancer. Yes, yes, 100%, Allie. You know, if you could take control over what you eat and how you move your body, I swear that would be like 75%. And Jen, correct me because I'm probably wrong and maybe I'm too optimistic. I don't know. Because I also feel that you need to have a good outlook. You need to have, a good emotional state. But I think with exercise, even food contributes to your emotional state, believe it or not. Um, and I believe he does get into food at some point. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything. One of the other things he talked about was, and I think I talked about this almost in the beginning, was the centenarian decathlon. It's like, what do you want to do when you get to your 80s, 90s, and so on? And you should start working backwards from there. And some of the things that he had mentioned was, being able to pick up a grandchild, carrying groceries, climbing the stairs, walking a mile. Travel's another one, right? And I don't think people realize that. Um, whether it's long car drives or getting on an airplane. Um, it's definitely a lot of work these days to go anywhere via the airlines, whether it's walking through airports and then usually having to switch gates because they do that 3 or 4 times. Um, just the stress of it, it just yeah, so you got to, I guess he was saying work backwards from there. And one of the other things when we were talking about exercise is you always want to get into that. I think he said it was zone 2, where you could walk and hold a conversation at the same time. Like you don't want to be crazy and pushing yourself. Um, like there is a time for, it's not endurance. What are they? I don't know what they call it. Where you have to run as fast as you can for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then you back off and you walk. That's what my daughter's doing right now to prepare for her Ironman. But there, it's called something. But that's not what he's suggesting. And carry things, right? Even carrying things. I don't think people think of the things that they do every day around their house. that would, help with the strengthening of muscles and, the strength training, whether again it's carrying boxes in or bags in, or actual getting yourself some 10-pound weights and doing some exercises. It helps the bones. And obviously, the older you get, um, the more, I guess, bone velocity, I don't know what you call it, Jen, help me out here, that you lose. That's why the osteoporosis comes in, but it helps with all that. I mean, I think they said that strength training was the number one thing that people over 60 should be doing for longevity. Um, so I have started exercising before bed because Lori told me to be more active. Results are pending. Now, how do you do that before bed, Peter? Because I find when I work out towards the end of the day, I have so much energy that I find myself going to bed later. But then again, you're up at 1 a.m. watching live streams. So maybe that's why you can watch live streams. Yes, sir. Then, if we all go to her video after the stream and just play it through, she'll get another 20 plus views per hour's teamwork. Oh, I missed that suggestion, but thank you, Pops. I probably need to work out more than I am because I'm having some inflammation going on in my bones. They just ache. Yeah, it could be. I think before you get off the live stream, I just finished this program, right? It was called Done. And I know I've mentioned it from time to time. It was I think a 20-week program, or maybe 12. I don't remember. It was 12 weeks. And one of the things we did in the very last group session was she wanted us to take action in real time while we were on. The calls are usually about 2 hours. So she wanted us to take action while we were on the call. And everybody did. She gave us all 5 minutes to do something that would help move the needle in whatever we were trying to achieve from the program. Everybody had different goals. And it was actually so powerful that one of the other things that came out of this program was we all were assigned accountability pods to keep us accountable for certain things each week. And the two women that are in my accountability pod are freaking amazing, first of all. And we decided that even after the program was done, we wanted to continue. We're not doing them weekly, we are doing them bi-weekly, and maybe after the summer, we'll move them back to weekly. But it man, it's just amazing to be able to get on. And it's kind of like this community, right, with like-minded people and to talk about things. Our meetings are over Zoom, so I get to have a two-way conversation. I don't like this one-way conversation. And it's powerful. And one of the things that we decided to do is to take action on one thing each meeting. So I say all that because before, okay, we only have 4 or 5 minutes left of this live stream. I want you to commit to something. I want you to write something down that you're going to do to add to your lifestyle that is going to be a benefit. I don't care if it's an extra walk a week or maybe no dessert for a week. Add something to your lifestyle right now. Commit to it. Write it down. Commit to it. And um, I obviously don't know what you're going to write, and I can't hold you accountable, but God can. God can. So confess it right now in front of Him. I know. I know. I think everybody on here um, says God's the manager of their life. So right now, I just write something down that is going to impact your life in a positive way. And I'm sure you can think of something that I'm not even thinking of. Um, get yourself a set of weights, um, get out and go for a walk every day this week around the block. Uh, think of something that, and not something that you're currently doing. Add something to your life, to your lifestyle that will impact you in a positive. So, but it has to be something either with food or exercise. And not that journaling and all that is not important. There'll be a time and place for that. But we are talking about the vessels. So we need something that is actually going to impact the body. So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox. Your face can infiltrate organs. I don't know who started that, but I'll never forget the first time. that I heard. I think first time I heard it was Allie saying it, and it was the night that Scott announced he was changing the name of his channel, and she started saying something about his face, and I was like, "Whoa!" And now it's just so funny. But so I think it may have been you, Allie, who started it. Look what you started. Fishing with Allie G. Say what? Fat can do that? Oh, I need to get my chubby ass into better shape fast. See, we need to start having small accountability pods within our community because our community is growing so much that it's hard to have, 30, 40 people on a call. But, and maybe we have accountability pods for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and then we rotate or something. I don't know. And we meet either once a week or bi-weekly on a Zoom call. I don't know. It's so powerful. It is so freaking powerful. One thing we have to remember is to schedule exercise, but when we personally have the energy for it, since everyone is different, you have to know when you have correct. And I think I said that, Scott, right? Like, oh my goodness, 20, 25 years ago, I could get up, not even that long ago. I could get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym and work out because I wasn't running then. Um, but I can't do that. So now I have to I have to move the body for a couple hours before I can actually get out and start hitting the pavement. So because believe it or not, I don't know, I've heard different things about running. I love it and I feel it is really good for me, but I hear it can also do a number on your body as far as your knees and whatnot. Um, I don't want to have any surgeries. I will not have surgeries. So I don't know. I might have to change it up, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah, he was saying in the book that if you have too much visceral fat, which is extra fat, it can get into your organs and then raise your chances to get cancer. Yep, too much visceral fat around your organs for sure. Even it's especially around your heart and stuff, Allie. That's great. I can add 1,000 more brain cells to my two that are left. Yep, 700 to 1,500 neurons a day, it says, Pam. So there's hope for you, hon. There's hope for you. But those two brain cells you got, we like them. We like them. They're pretty good. Did you ever see people that sit on an exercise ball at their desk? Okay, I know a joke is coming, but yes, Jason, I actually have. Lori, I've recorded 21 on your stream so far, hon. Great. Oh, thank you, Pops. You bring up a good point. I don't, and Scott, I guess this question is to you or whoever has Ecamm. I think, Otis, if you're still here, you also have it. I don't know how to find out how many people are on my live stream when I'm looking at Ecamm. I do if I'm in live if I'm in YouTube, but I don't when I'm in Ecamm. Nah, Pam, I know plenty of people that seem to get through life with only one. I walk every day up to 3 miles, 275 days in a row. Yes, you're trying to reach that 1,000, and that is so impressive. And as soon as I heard that, I want to call you Dave. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's inspiring. What can I do? What can I commit to for my community to hold me accountable? So I have to think about that, but I really, really like that. So yes, that's one thing he's doing. He walks every day, and I believe you start out at least in a live stream while you're walking, right? Because that's one of the videos I saw of yours. And he's trying to get to 1,000 miles. So I think that is phenomenal, phenomenal. I love it. Hey, you were live this morning, right? Oh, was he live this morning? I miss going to the gym today. It's 5 years in a row. I swear, Scott, he has a book. He must have a book. Yes, I go live every day. Yeah, during your walk. That's right. That's right. So, Scott, you must already know Old Guy Hustle then. So maybe that's why, I don't know. I don't, well, that you subscribe to my channel. That's how I know you. That's why I went looking for your channel. Thank you, Lori. That's weird that it dropped like that. Be sure to give the closing song. Yeah, I know you had said that. So I will. I definitely will. Were you part of that band, Otis, or was it just your two friends? I couldn't quite understand um, when you were explaining it. I didn't know if you were also part of that group or whatever. Hey, Jerry, how are you, hon? I would love to go on a vacation and see my Clara. However, funds are rather low. Can't wait to give Clara a hug. Um, yes, she does need a nap today. I agree. Yes, yes, we're here together today as we're at our hotel baby. At the hotel baby. Oh, so you're on vacation too, hon. So that's good. Do you have find my phone app? Then you could pinpoint where it is and somehow get it. That's if it's still on, right? But if it loses power because of the water, okay. I have no idea who that is. Was that okay? So that's from the Bible, right? That was on, I know, a question from I think Sally's live stream one day too, but I meant in more current day because a lot of the people from the Bible lived into their 800s or 700s, or so either there was just no disease back then, so people just lived long, um, or they just didn't count the years the way we count the years now. But I don't think it's apples to apples. Oh, okay. Noah's grandfather. Okay. I need to know your VO2 max now, Lori. It's essentially how well your body utilizes oxygen for energy. I'm sure your athletic background is the reason. Um, it varies between 50.2 and 51.6. So sometimes it'll go up or down a couple tenths of a point, I guess. Once it fell to 49, I thought it was the end of the world, but that only happened once. I hugged my first tree Tuesday. Yes, she showed us the video, Dana, and I think that was awesome. There's something to it, I'm telling you. My blood oxygen is 98%. I will accept that. I assume that's very good. Your name is Dave. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's kind words when I said that you were the male version of me. So, but I really liked your stuff, Dave, very, very much. So I will be back there visiting. And let me know when you go live. I know it's every day. Is it the same time every day? Um, because I also have a post where I kind of keep track of the live streams. And a lot of the folks in the community know to go over there to kind of see who is going live when. So I'd like to add you to that if that's okay. Um, so let me know. Let me know if it's the same time every day. Thank you, Ellie. Body weight exercises in goblet squats with a 6K kettlebell. It is supposed to tire me out, but it does not work. I will switch to magnesium bath salts before bed. Yeah, my son has just started working out with a kettlebell, and he swears by it. Another tip, gang, you can walk away and Lori gets the full hour credit. Sometimes, depending on the browser, you can do 3 or 4 times speed and she still gets the full hour credit. Top has all these little tricks here. Yes, we knew what you meant. I've started drinking a glass of water every morning. That's something else that folks can commit to. Nobody wants to commit to exercise, at least commit to drinking more water, upping your water by at least a couple glasses a day. That's a big one for me. And you know what? I'm going to commit to that. I'm actually going to track it because I know I don't drink enough water. Um, so that's what I'm going to commit to. Hey, welcome. I think this is your first time here. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Jen, I was an influence on that. I'm also recording my tapping video. Yes, yes. I don't know if you saw my comment the other day, Jen, because I felt that you felt pressured because I said I liked it so much. And I had put in the comments that, when that inner child is ready to do it, we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. There's no rush when you're ready. But maybe pre-recording it versus doing it live will be better. Will be better for you. And I don't know. I know I will use it. Um, I love tapping, but I won't go do it on my own. I need to follow somebody. So, um, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. I am 3/4 way through the universe as your back book, and I have realized in the book you can replace the word universe with 100%. It's, God, universe, source. Um, they're all interchangeable, right? It's the one power. So yes, it's interchangeable. You are the reason, Sally. Yeah, puppies, dogs, they need to be walked every day. So definitely, Dana, definitely. See, your face almost to the end. Uh, I am. I remember I walked 3 miles a day for a full month. At the end of the month, I was so tired I had to get a taxi home. Cost me. Won't be doing that. I walked 3 miles a day for a full month, and at the end of the month, I was so tired I had to get a taxi. €200. My goodness. I would have just walked back, Peter. I would have just walked back. So what's the lesson, Scott? Not to exercise? Hey, bye, you stay well, hon. Okay. And we will see you on the streets of YouTube very soon. I go live 7:30 Eastern every day. I walk and sit and chat after the walk. Yes, that's what like I said, I saw one of your live streams and you were chit-chatting with us at the end. Look at this. Hi, Chris. And I reiterate, if we all play Lori's stream video after it posts, we can watch it and she gets another 20 hours credit. You can just play it and walk away. Thank you, Pops. That's going to be I mean, I'm not at 1,000 subscribers either yet, but watch hours are so hard to get. They really, really are, especially when my videos are so short. But anyways, that said, I did remember Thoughtuary today, but I have to go get it. So bear with me. So today is the 15th. Today the 15th? Is it the 15th or is it the 14th? Oh my goodness. And I don't have my phone. Hold on. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Today's the 14th. Offer all the love you can. Planting gardens. You move through life leaving pieces of yourself in people and places, in small conversations and deep dives, each moment carrying a bit of your love. So today, be mindful to leave only the best pieces out in the world and offer all the love you can. Because what you say and do today might someday make all the difference in the world to someone, somewhere. Ask yourself this today, will I commit to being more intentional with my words and actions, spreading as much love as I can? All right, folks. So that's it. So thank you, folks. Oh my goodness. And I don't have my phone. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Because without exaggeration, I see 111 everywhere. And if everybody looks at their watch right now, it's 11:11. So I ended my live stream at 11:11. I see it everywhere. Oh, now it's 11:12. But anyways, I had to get a picture of that because I've been collecting them as proof. So, all right, folks. I hope you guys have a great day. And tonight is Thursday, so Allie goes live tonight at 8 p.m. Sally has her hey, you know what? Mike wasn't on today. Sally has her premiere tomorrow at 4. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh my goodness, Mike. I thought of you and there you are. So I love you guys, and we'll see you on the streets of YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you that every person listening to this, whether they are here today or finding this days from now, is seen by you. Thank you that no one here is invisible. Thank you that no one is alone even when they feel like they are. Thank you, Lord, for the one to sit quietly, who never type a word but show up faithfully. Thank you that they are loved. Thank you that they belong here. Thank you that this community holds space for them, just as they are. Thank you for providing for those who are struggling financially. Thank you that you are their source, not their job, not their bank account, but you, Almighty Father, we praise you. Thank you the doors are opening, that needs are being met. The provision is coming in ways they didn't expect. Please, Lord God, help them see this. Thank you for healing. Thank you for the bodies that are being restored, the energy that is returning, the pain that is lifting. Thank you, dear God, for clarity, for those who have been searching for answers about their health. Thank you that you are the God who heals. And thank you for this community, this beautiful, imperfect, faithful group of people who show up for each other. Thank you that we get to do this together. Thank you that we are not walking alone. We receive all of this with gratitude in Jesus' name.